One of the methods of prediction is to use time series analysis. And time series analysis can easily be done by ChatGPT. So let's go ahead and start this. We're going to go ahead and start a new chat. And let's go ahead and upload the data. And as we upload the data, let's go ahead and have a data dictionary. And so we're going to ask it to produce a data dictionary based on what it thinks it has. And so we're doing this for Nvidia from 2012 to 2025 and seeing what it looks like year by year, and then seeing what a prediction of what it might look like into the future. So what's the data dictionary? Can it define the various line items? We can do so. So here's the various items: the ticker, the date, the amount of income, and the amount of sales. So it looks like it is what I would expect it to be. And now we're going to ask it to forecast those sales from 2026 to 2029. And we want it to use a time series algorithm. We want to define what it is. There are a whole bunch of options, like how much do you incorporate seasonality? Do you weight what happened last year more than what happened 10 years ago? And so Excel, Tableau, Power BI each use a different algorithm. So instead of just letting ChatGPT decide, we'd want it to disclose what it's using, but also tell it exactly what we want it to be. So let's go ahead and predict that. And we're going to ask it a few questions like, hey, let's see what this looks like. So it says it's forecasting with the Holtz linear trend model, which is what we want. And we'll ask it to provide the information. Okay, so it did in fact do that. It gives us some details on what it did, and it also gives us a prediction of what the future might look like. So it's had very strong growth in recent years, and so the question is, can that continue at the same rate? So next we want it to provide an upper confidence bound. And so we want to know what the highest possible is and the lowest possible, and what that might look like in terms of just the upper confidence bound. What's the most it could be given these characteristics? And so it expects the upper confidence bound to be 456, 597, though the actual estimate itself is 407, and that's in billions of dollars. So big dollars there included. Okay, the next thing we wanted to do is show the past sales and the forecasted sales on a similar line graph. And we wanted also to show the confidence bound so we can see what it looks like and how reasonable these assessments are based on the past and what's expected in the future. And so this is a way to see visually what the trend looks like. So this actually didn't do that great of a job. I mean, this is over the past time period. I wish it would have shown the years, and this is the forecast over the next few years. What I was hoping is that it would put it all together and able to see that. And so I'd probably need to work with that and see what it looks like. All right, so next let's go ahead and forecast income into the future. And so we're going to ask it to use the same algorithm. So here's the prompt I'm going to use, asking it to forecast income for this 2026 to 2029 using the same time series algorithm as it did before. And able to see that. And this is for income instead of for sales, so we can kind of see what that looks like. It confirms it used the time series algorithm of Holtz linear trend, and we can see what that forecast looks like and expect it to continue into the future. So we can ask for the lower confidence bound for 2029 income. The point estimate again was 245, 153. And the question is, what's the lowest bounds? What's 2 standard deviations below that amount? And so we're asking it to provide that information. Okay, so we can see that that looks like it's 208, 670, which is 2 standard deviations below the expectation. Okay, so we could ask it to provide that. Let's go ahead and ask it to plot the historical and forecasted with confidence bands. And let's see if we can get a good answer for that. And it looks like it still didn't provide exactly what I wanted it to provide. I mean, this should be over here and continue on. But it didn't give me the years and didn't give me various information. So I need to continue to work through that. And that's kind of the nature of generative AI, right? It may not give you exactly what you want and you may have to go forward. But either way, let's go ahead and ask it to output that information and put it into a PNG file. And then the final step would be to display the prompts. It may mean that I need to go and print out that information and make my own line chart. So once I print out the prompts, that completes this lab.